Hi, I'm Jeff Stokes. Welcome to Jeff's Daily Dose of Encouragement. Today I want to encourage you about dealing with storms. In the account in Matthew chapter 14, we read where Jesus had just fed the 5,000 and then he sent the disciples away in a boat and they went out over the sea, and then he sent the multitudes away and he prayed, and then after that the situation happened whereby he was walking on the water towards them, but there was a massive storm. And I'll read from the chapter here, and it says, "But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary." So this is the disciples in the ship. "And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, or a ghost. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spoke to them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter said to him, Lord, if it's you, bid me to come upon you on the water, come unto you on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said to him, O you of little faith, wherefore did you doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth, you are the Son of God. There's some real points I want to mention here about dealing with storms. So the disciples are out on the ship in the storm on the sea, and then Jesus comes. And it's really interesting. When Jesus turns up, the storm doesn't stop straight away. What happens was, first of all, that they have a fright, and then Jesus talks to them, and then there's dialogue going on between them, the disciples, and Jesus, while Jesus is still on the sea, standing outside the boat, and they're in the boat, and there's still this conversation going on. And then instead of Peter, and the disciples crying and say, Lord, help us, we're drowning, or whatever, he says, if it's you, tell me to get out of the boat and come and walk to you. He's like, he's in another plane. He's not even, well, we might think he's not even thinking straight. It's like, Peter, what are you doing? And then he gets out and he starts going, and next minute he realises what he's done and the situation he's in, and starts to sink and cries out to the Lord, and then the Lord grabs him and they get into the boat, and then it ceases. Now, my encouragement for you about this is that we have storms in life, but the great thing is that when Jesus turns up, you can actually talk to him in the storm, because it's almost like his presence when he turns up, it's going to take your focus so much, it's going to take up so much of your attention when he turns up, that the storm doesn't matter. And that's like what happened to Peter. He forgot about the whole thing. It wasn't even happening until he got out of the boat and walked to Jesus. So that's the great thing. When we have a big storm going on, we don't have to focus on the storm. We can talk to Jesus in the middle of the storm, and then invite him into our situation, and then he'll bring, as soon as he gets into our situation, the boat that we're in, then he'll bring calm. So that's my encouragement for you today. If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus, If you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For whosoever shall confess that Jesus is the Son of God, God dwells in him and he in God. And he can bring peace to your storm. God bless you. Have a great day.